Well, hello everyone. I have right here, I'll talk about for Santa Telma right here, and this right here is supposed to be an example right here of like, talk about for a music artist, right? And, the singer, but still, I'm sure most of us have heard that song, by, I think it was Ariana Grande, and, but, still, talking about for Santa Tell Me right here. And a lot of times, whenever we, think about any photographs that we have, for with Santa Claus right here, but 102 is toward it. How many of us are really are going to be asking Santa Claus maybe for a pair of glasses or something like that, and everybody 102 is toward it. Yeah, that when we do think about that, by the way, and your 102 is toward it. Yeah, Santa tell me, and yeah, you could have been Santa tell me that you'll be. I'm like, yeah, Santa tell me that you're already there or something like that, and but still, what are you going to get me for next year or something like that? But still, that when we look at any special moments with Santa Claus right here, and you're one thing too is to where that thinking about these moments is to where that yeah that whenever it comes to having your picture taken with Santa Claus, and how many kids are going to be asking Santa Claus here for maybe for a pair of glasses or something like that. I'm like, U102 is to where that how many of us maybe think is to where that, yeah, if you've heard that song before, but it's like, all I want for Christmas is my two front teeth or something like that. But still, that how many kids are going to be asking for a pair of glasses? And you thinking too is to where that, yeah, that, do you think that's ever really been on the Santa's wish list as to where that, all I want for Christmas is a fancy pair of sunglasses or something like that. And so that is why it seems that way to where that when we do think about, pictures with Santa Claus right here, that do you think that anybody would be maybe like everybody say that, I don't want everybody looking at me. I don't want my picture, being captured on photo just because, I wear glasses or maybe something like, I got myself a new set of braces, or like everybody might say that. A lot of kids might even say too that they may not even want their picture taken just because if they've been recovering from being sick or something like that, maybe if they've been sick with a head cold or something like that, or maybe a flu or something like that. And that is why it seems that way to where that certain ways of how to cheer the kids up, right? And so that's why your 102 is to where that you go ahead and look at Santa Claus if maybe if he had glasses on or something like that, but still that having a picture of with you sitting right next to us and then talking about hearing about a song about Santa Claus right here, and so really that I would like to know too that the song lyrics kind of go by as to where Santa tell me that you already there or something like that, and so I would like to know too by which house is Santa Claus going to be coming to, and knowing that while if you're going to be up late at night, and let's just say that if you're going to be up late at night, you're working on something, and people may say that at about what time usually do most kids need to be in bed, for Santa Claus to come and deliver the presents? And so I'm sure anybody would maybe even think too that they can maybe tell you all kinds of stories about, if it's on Christmas Eve or if it's maybe 2 days before Christmas or maybe 2 days or maybe a week after Christmas or something like that. But still, that knowing about Santa tell me right here, and but I have right here this which I listened to the song quite a few times during the holidays, and I was just thinking too that yeah, what exactly are you thinking about whenever you do hear that song by Ariana? And then like, and yeah, Santa tell me that you are there, and so that's why it seems that way to where that whenever I do think about that and want to know this to where that you have pictures taken with Santa Claus here, but do we does anybody ever want to know too that if you were to ask Santa Claus maybe for a new pair of glasses or something like that, or maybe jewelry items or of any kind. I'm like, U102, is that, do you think that Santa Claus would maybe think as this toward, well, that's not really possible or something like that. So that's why it seems that way to where that back whenever I was a kid, that I used to always think too that if you would actually have Santa Claus write to you in 102, that yeah, maybe especially on a greeting card, that there would be like maybe a mailing address or something like that you could use, just to be able to be able to write to Santa Claus. But still, that talking about whenever it comes to pictures of Santa Claus, and also whenever it comes to songs about Santa Claus, and but still, it's like whenever I do think about this, and people 102 is to where that Santa tell me right here, and but yeah, it's like whenever I sit on Santa's lap a couple of times, that a couple of times I talked about school, by the way, in case if anybody's wondering that whenever you did talk to Santa Claus, you didn't really always talk about presents, right? You were talking about how things have been going, and usually my response was usually that I've been busy working, or that I've been in school, I've been taking care of something, and so that's why it seems that way. That whenever you do have your picture, taken of Santa Claus right here, and people begin to wonder as to where, that do you think that maybe 15 seconds a lot of times really gives you enough time to really where you can actually talk to Santa Claus and maybe have a conversation with Santa Claus, and that is why it seems that way. That whenever you think about that song, it's like Santa tell me. It's so yeah, it's like you begin to wonder that 15 seconds a lot of times doesn't seem like a whole lot of time really, and knowing that whenever you think about that song, right, and you're always 102, that even if you looked in your stockings, and people may say that it takes you maybe about 15 seconds just to be able to open up a present at the most. I'm like, at least 15 seconds just to be able to open up a gift, and just to see if you like it, and then of course like, this gift is for you, and then that is for you, and this is for me, or something. And so that's why it seems that way, that whenever you do think about that, and you're 102, that whenever you think about that song and you're 102, where like in Santa tell me, and but still, on the other hand, that whenever we do think about our picture, also it's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I like to have a cool pair of sunglasses or something like that, or like, something casual that you can, especially made for you or something like that. But still that but whenever you do think about that, by the way, that people 102, that looking at that picture with you sitting on Santa's lap, by the way, that you 102, that do you remember all the things that you talked to Santa Claus about? I'm talking about maybe within 15 seconds in timing. That by the time the picture is taken, that do you think that does 15 seconds really give you enough time to be thinking about a lot of that stuff, about the things that for what's on your mind, and then knowing that about the things that talk about for Santa Claus. It's like Santa tell me if you're really there, and so that the song lyrics may go by as to where that that if Santa Claus answers the call, and like, and I hear you. Well, what would you what can I what can I get you, or something like that. So it's like, in case of anybody's want to know too, that Santa tell me, and so you want to maybe start out the sentence by saying it as to where that Santa tell me, are you really there? And so that put on here, are you really there? are you really there? And so that's why it seems that way. That whenever you do think about that, and you want to know too, that Santa, tell me if you really are there. And so yeah, so whenever you do think about that, then you're warned toward okay, yeah, that waiting for Santa Claus to answer a call or maybe a message or something like that of any kind, but like everybody might even want to know too that if you're really that, yeah, see you for next year or something like that. But still, but I just know that thinking about pictures of Santa Claus, though, that most of the time, maybe if it's in the stockings, if it's the stockings filled with goodies or something like that, but still, that how many kids are really going to be asking for a pair of glasses? If they want a pair of glasses to wear, especially for Christmas time, or maybe a necklace or a bracelet or something like that. But like everybody might say that, do you think any kids would like something like maybe a pair of glasses or something like that for Christmas? And so it's like, yeah, Santa, tell me if you really are there. And but still that I just know that on the other hand too, that whenever it comes to understanding about talking with Santa Claus, and people may say is to her, okay, yeah, that do you think that on average that you would like to have more than 15 seconds just to be able to talk to Santa Claus? And everybody want to know too that it's like call coming from the North Pole or something like that. I haven't really tried it, but like everybody would even want to know too that have it to where if you want to go ahead and write to Santa Claus, and people want to know too is to where that yeah that for next year, if you want to go ahead and maybe request your presents for next year or something like that. I'm like, I really don't know what to deliver, but let's just say that everybody may want to know too that can you really order maybe a year ahead of time, like for next year, that this is what I like to have for Christmas. And but still, on the other hand, that I'm like the song kind of like sounds like maybe just a little bit like if the kids are going to be up late at night, you may be thinking about when Santa Claus is going to be coming, to bring the presents. And at 102 is toward it, yeah. Have you been a good girl this year, or have you been a good boy this year? And those are the type of questions I usually hear, and that's why it seems that way. That whenever you do think about that, and people want to know too that you would ask Santa Claus for something that maybe that you've been looking for, that you've been hoping to be able to get, right? And so that's why it seems that way. That whenever we do think about that, and you want to know that hey, that whenever it comes to pictures with Santa Claus right here, and you're warned toward hey, that you like to have a cool pair of glasses. But other than that, it's like having those favorite moments, talk about with pictures with Santa Claus, right? Anyway, for Santa, tell me.